This is topic 1, electricity and magnetism. So in topic 1, I'm going to be talking about atoms, ions, and molecules. So topic 1 works as is going to work as a foundation to Coulomb's law. So after atomic 1, I'll go to topic 2, where I'll talk about Coulomb's law and also superposition principle in Coulomb's law. Then from there we'll do a bit of questions and then move to the next topic. So let's get started. So when you talk about atoms, right? So you know that from basic science, an atom is a basic unit, right? A basic unit of matter. Basic unit of matter. Meaning this is the smallest quantity that you can ever find in every substance of matter. So a bunch of elements make up an element. A bunch of atoms, sorry, make up an element, right? I think we all know that from grade 12 science. So an atom look like this from basic science. So this is a subatomic view. Yeah, so it's a subatomic view. So you have an electron, This is a shell. Of course, we know that. So this is an electron. Then at the center, you're going to have protons and neutrons combined, right? So this is all you have to know about an atom, at least relevant to as a building block to Coulomb's law. But then what I'm interested in is the concept of ions. So you know that atoms make up a bunch of elements. So atoms are grouped together to make up what? Elements. So in chemistry we have the periodic table that shows us the list of all elements. You know, we've got transition elements, we've got noble elements or noble gases, group 0 elements, you know, from group 1, to group 8. Of all these elements that are listed there. So each of these elements, let's say sodium, there, calcium, magnesium, metals and non-metals, they all have their own structure, electronic configuration. Structure, that's what I mean. So now, the interesting thing is that metals, especially in their natural state, they have a tendency to lose or to gain electrons so that they become stable, right? So let's say, for instance, the electronic structure, the electron structure of an element is supposed to be in even numbers, like they say 2, 8, and the numbers go on and so forth. So if let's say an element has got, let's say, one extra electron in the outermost shell. Let me just give this example here. One extra electron like this. That element is most likely to lose what? To lose this electron that is in the outermost shell to become what? To become electrically stable in a state, to attain a stable state, right? Electrically stable state. So this is where the concept of what? Ions come in. So every time that an atom loses or gains electrons, it graduates from being an atom, right? It becomes what? An ion. So ions, right? What is an ion? So an ion is simply an atom that has lost or gained an electron. An atom that has lost or gained an electron. That's all. Nothing more. Nothing more special about this. Just an atom that has lost or gained an electron. So there are two types that you have for ions. So types of ions, right? So the first one that you have is what? Is a cation. So this one is positive. It's positively charged. So a cation, some people say cation. So a cation is an atom that was what? That has lost an electron. So it loses an electron to become stable. The second type of an ion is something called an anion. An ion is negatively charged. So an anion is an atom that has gained an electron. Okay, gained an electron. So the interesting thing also to note about ions is that when you come to electricity and magnetism, you're going to be talking about something called a charge. You're going to hear a lot of these things called charge. So the reason why I'm introducing ions, atoms, and molecules is for you to understand where the concept of a charge comes from. So a charge is nothing special. It's nothing special. It's not something that you have not always known. It's something that you have always known from grade 12 basic science, from physics or chemistry. So an atom that has lost or gained an electron is called what? It's called an ion. Then the synonym for an ion is also called the what? A charge. Okay. So we come to the concept of what? Of charge. So charge is simply also an atom that has lost or gained an electron. Lost or gained an electron. That's what it is. I mean, this is building up from the concept of ions and the atoms. That's what a charge is. So if an ion has got a positive ion and a negative ion, it follows that a charge has got a positive charge and a negative what? A negative charge. So it can Q can be written as Q, can be written as positive Q, can be written as what? Negative Q. So this follows, it can be a capital letter Q or a small letter q. All of them represent what? Represent a charge. Now, if you understand that an atom that has lost or gained an electron becomes what? Becomes an ion or a charge. So the thing to understand about this is this, about a charge. So let's say sodium, right? Let's say this is the electron configuration of sodium. Let's say 2, 2, as an example. Let's say sodium, right? So let's say you have mm, like that. For instance, as an example. So what's going to happen is that sodium will lose or gain an electron, right? So sodium now graduates, it becomes what? An ion. Okay. So after sodium becomes an ion, one thing you should understand about this is that sodium still remains the same sodium that it is. Let's say sodium is this black pen that I'm holding in my hand. So for it to become electrically what? Stable in nature, it has lost or gained an electron. Sodium will remain the same black pen that I have. But whenever we say a sodium ion or a charge, it means that we are now considering the same sodium element but in a state where it has what? Lost or gained what? Electrons. So that means that whenever you're talking about something called charge in electricity and magnetism, you're talking about an element on the periodic table that has either what? Lost or gained what? Or gained an electron. That's all there is to it. Nothing special about atoms, ions, and molecules and charge. So I need you to understand this topic so that you understand the connection between an atom, an ion, and how an ion makes up a what? Makes up a charge.